Some places have a vibe, and some places have a story to tell. This is one of those places. Alright, so I won't share the location of this place, but I will take you on a tour inside, and I'll tell you everything I experienced while I was in there.
Alright, we're going in.
First, I'm not going to tell you that this place is haunted. That's not my place, but the energy in this place was very real, and I could feel it as soon as I stepped through the window. It wasn't a bad vibe at first. I got those feelings later on as I moved through the house, but initially, it was just something deep.
I don't know if I'll go down there just yet.
It was like the walls wanted to talk to me, but they couldn't. Maybe they had something important to say, but the layers of time, the disarray, the damage done to the house, it was just all too distracting for anything else to resonate at the time. The kitchen had a melancholy feel to it. I could tell there had been some good times in that kitchen, and that plenty of meals were shared, lots of jokes were told, and if I listened closely, I could almost hear kids out in the yard laughing as they played and waited for their warm, home-cooked supper that was prepared for them right here, in this old, now empty kitchen. The dining room didn't have a good vibe to it. I think this is where things fell apart in this place. Whatever might have happened in here, once it happened, things would never be the same again. You could wonder all day, but a dining room needs a family. It needs to be used for it to maintain that warm feeling that keeps inviting people back. But this particular dining room, it had lost its purpose a long time ago. As I started to make my way up the stairs, I could tell I was entering a different realm. Things started to feel a little heavier, and not only did it get noticeably warmer, but the smells changed too. The first floor smelled damp and musty, but up here, it smelled like the wood had been baking in the hot summer sun for quite some time, and besides a broken window here and there was no ventilation at all. There was this earthy type smell that was hard to put my finger on. It wasn't blood, it wasn't mold, but it was just different. And none of this really surprised me though. Every room in a house like this has its deadline. Eventually the roof leaks, then the floors soften and they rot out, the windows break, and nature once again reclaims what's now the ruins of a house that's been forgotten. It might take its good old time, but nature always wins. Whenever I find myself in a place like this, I always tend to wonder about the people who lived here and what their lives were like. Where did they come from, and what do they do for a living? Were they happy here?
McDonald's fries have not been that small in a long time.
There were people who celebrated birthdays here. They probably raised kids here, and now it's just another place that people drive past without giving a second thought as to what this house might have been like just a few decades ago. The energy felt distant up here. The first floor wanted to share something with me, but there was something the house didn't want me to know about when I came up here. It felt elusive, like I was chasing something that didn't exist. And as I circled through what were presumably once bedrooms, I was reminded that nothing lasts forever. Maybe spirits do. I don't know. But otherwise, it's ashes to ashes and dust to dust, for us and eventually all of our belongings. The third floor just felt sad. An entire life's work reduced to ruins. Somebody spent their best years here, building a life and building a family, and now there's nothing to really even show for it. Not even here, in the one place you would expect there to be some kind of tangible reminder of somebody's existence. In the baby bassinet by the window, and the piles of paperwork and documents scattered around the floor, like all the info they contained never even mattered at all. It was just a stark reminder that no matter how important we think what we're doing is, more often than not, it really won't matter at all once we're gone. this point, I was ready to leave. I took one more look around the second floor, and that's when I realized the unmistakable face in the bathtub. The numerous vandals who have moved through this place over the years, they did a really good job of leaving no stone unturned when it came to expressing their destructive creativity.
If only walls could speak. It's a shame because there's some aspects of this place that are pretty cool.
Once I was back downstairs, things cooled off a bit, and once again, the vibe was a little lighter. I made my last rounds admiring what was undoubtedly once a beautiful home to someone.
This would make a good home to the right person. I'm not that person.
If the walls could have talked, I would have listened, but this time they didn't have much to say to me.
I'm not going down there without a flashlight.
I took a rain check on the basement, only because I didn't have a flashlight with me, but since you're still watching and you seem to be curious about these kinds of things, hit the like button and consider subscribing, please. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps me out a lot. And if I get 100 likes and 100 new subscribers out of this video, I'll come back to this place and I'll spend the night in the basement all by myself. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah, well, that was creepy.